We breaking walls down, the legacy is a new season. We crossing lines now, but you know we ain't causing no treasons. We on a new wave, dropping jewels in the man cave. She like the game, so we ran plays. She held it down in the dog days.
Welcome to Man Cave. For today's episode, I have a distinguished guest. It's actually going to be a one-on-one with me and my brother. This guy, we go back quite some ways. At least middle school? Middle school, yeah. We go back quite some ways, and I was having a conversation, posted a video about happy wife, happy life, and all of a sudden, I get a DM from this guy. Say, hey, bro, we are concerned. Do you even know what it's like to be married? Motivational speaker, military guy, lifer. He served our country well. 21 years?
21 plus years.
21 plus years. He got it down to the hour. My brother, he got some great things going on. You started your TikTok page. It's popping. What's your TikTok?
My TikTok is Tim the Speaker, and I talk about a lot of things on there, and I don't sugarcoat nothing. I figure we all grown, so I talk grown. So be careful when you come on my page, but there's a lot of good stuff on there, a lot of good information.
All right, cool, man. This is my brother, Tim Fowler. We're going to kick it today. We're going to talk about quite a few different things, but first I got to start with, I appreciate the DM, brother. I appreciate the DM. When I got it, first thing I did was laugh. First thing I did was laugh because I know this is my bro. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, we the married people say you don't have the right to talk about things you don't know.
I said that, yeah.
And I hit you up immediately, and you was like, I got to get you on the show. I got to get you on the show. So we appreciate you pulling up, man, to the Man Cave with Southside Dre. We appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to get it in, man. So let's just jump right into it.
Let's jump.
Will Smith, Chris Rock.
All right.
Who's right? Who's wrong?
Man, there's so many different things I could say about that situation. But I still think it was staged. But let's just say it wasn't. Let's just say everything that happened was real. Me as a husband, and I did a little research on the story about Will Smith has already talked to him multiple times about this before, and he said that you can disrespect me, talk about me, but don't talk about my wife and kids. So he's already told Chris Rock this before.
Mm-hmm.
So with him doing it again with me, the way I am, if you disrespect my wife in private, and I feel it was disrespect, I'm going to disrespect you in private. If you disrespect my wife in public, and I feel it was disrespect, I'm going to disrespect you in public. Basically, wherever you disrespect anybody that I love, I'm going to disrespect you right then. It's on site. I'm not going to wait. But then again, in that situation, my wife, like I said, we have a spiritual connection. She knows me.
Right.
And if I would have stood up at that moment, she would have grabbed me, or at least said my name and calmed me back down.
Right. So playing devil's advocate though, like, because I saw quite a few different angles of this video.
Gotcha.
And bro, like one angle, it literally looked like Jada didn't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if she was going to be able to stop him or if she even knew to stop him or what was going to happen. I think some of the shock probably came, same shock that I saw Chris Rock kind of take when he took the slap. But I think nobody was prepared except for Will for what was about to come. I just believe Will was just dead. Like, that's an overcorrection. Like, you don't even know. I don't think he knew all he needed to know. I don't even think it had everything to do with what was happening in that night.
I don't either.
Like, there was a lot going on. But so they banned him for 10 years from the Oscars?
10 years.
You think that's fair?
Well, honestly, I think he should have been arrested.
Okay.
Because for one, you got to look at it like this. That's an assault.
Right.
On TV. And you don't really need witnesses because you got a video. But one thing that video shows our kids and our youth is that they can basically go assault somebody. And if you got money, nothing's going to happen to you. Because my nephew even saw that and was like, why he didn't go to jail?
Right.
He was like, if I hit somebody, I'm going to jail.
Right.
So what makes him so different? And I said, he got money.
Right. But they say there was a little a disagreement in 2016 at the previous Oscars. I think it was a bad joke then,
yes.
Where I think Jada was boycotting the Oscars at the time, and Chris Rock made a joke. He said, and don't quote me on it, but he said Jada Pinkett boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties.
Mm.
I wasn't invited.
Mm.
So I guess that kind of tipped him. But that's the only thing I found over the course of time that he did that he did that was against Will Smith or the Smiths or whatever. I can't really find a whole lot of other material that he had for them. So that accompanied with the fact that, okay, and this is where everything kind of spin off for me. It was the alopecia piece, right? So that's where everything took a turn because granted, I didn't know she had alopecia. I didn't see the Red Table Talk or whatever, whatever platform she was on when she described it. So how are we sure that Chris Rock actually knew? Do you believe he knew about it?
To me, I would say yeah. Because they've been friends.
Okay.
They've done shows together. Chris Rock was on Will Smith's show Fresh Prince of Bel-Air back in the day.
Okay.
It ain't like they don't know each other.
Right.
And that circle of black actors, black comedians is very small in Hollywood.
Right.
To me, they all, and of course it's just my opinion, they all know each other.
Right.
So you kind of know what's going on, So I think he did.
Yeah.
But then again, if Will Smith has already checked him before, kind of like he don't care. And he's just a comedian, and he's doing his job. That's probably how Chris Rock was looking at it. I'm a comedian.
Right.
I'm doing my job.
Okay, well, even to that point, comedians doing their jobs, and T.I. just had a debacle
seen that too.
Down in Atlanta that was just wild, bro. I'm watching it, I'm like, what is going on? Now, do you think comedians have the right to tell any joke or address anything? Because, hey, bro, I remember when we were growing up, there were no rules to what you can joke about.
Yeah.
I mean, there was jokes about disabilities, handicaps, whatever it was. It was all a go because it was supposed to just be funny.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I guess people have become way, way more sensitive now about the jokes because even, like I say, going back to the alopecia point, even to that, it's like, let's say he didn't know. Let's say he didn't know that she had alopecia. So it's like, now is the joke too far? Now, you know what I mean? If you don't know that and it's a G.I. Jane joke and it was light.
It was light.
You know, we've seen comedians go crazy. So when we think about the alopecia piece, now if he does know, yeah, that's off limits.
Yes.
Because now you know what I mean? That's not the place for that.
Yes.
But if he doesn't know, Will, and Will is assuming that he knows, or like you said, maybe he does, and because of their personal relationship.
Yes.
I'm not sure. But I just felt like it was just out of bounds, man, altogether. Like, I think it was better ways. Like, you saying if that had happened to you, would you have responded in that way?
Let me tell you.
And how would you have responded?
If that would have happened, knowing that I've already checked him before, I can't really say what I would do.
Right.
But I just know that I wouldn't have walked up on stage and slapped him in front of the whole world because the first person I'm going to think about is my wife. The second person is my mama.
Right.
My mama didn't raise me like that.
Yeah.
And I know I would be getting slapped coming off that stage because she would have showed up. But like I told you before, I would have just waited.
Okay.
In that setting, that the world watching, I would have waited to the after party.
Right.
And then we would have had a totally different conversation.
You took care of business then.
I would have took care of business then. Because at the end of the day, I'm a representative of my family.
Right.
Not just me. And the world is watching that. So the world is going to look like my house is not in order.
Right.
And I always love to keep my house in order with the help of my wife. Because she mostly keeps us in order because sometimes I go left sometimes. But like I told you before, that spiritual connection that we got.
Right.
If I would have had an out-of-body experience and jumped up, she would have snatched me real quick.
Gotcha.
And I would have got angry at her. But I would have, like I said, we would have had that eye conversation. And I would have sat right back down.
Gotcha.
And been like, you right.
All right, let's get into something a little deeper. Something a little deeper than that. And this is going to piggyback off the original conversation. What do you believe, and you've probably been in both of these situations, but what do you believe is the difference between a long-term relationship, I'm talking live-in, everything, and marriage?
Ooh.
Like, what are the differences to you? I mean, have you first of all, have you had the experience of both? I know the marriage, you've had the experience, but have you ever had a long-term relationship with somebody that you developed that live-in bond with even?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What are the differences? Let us know.
Just to let you know, I'm an open book. I'm transparent. I've been married 3 times, been divorced twice.
Okay.
And my first wife.
So you got the experience. So
Oh, yes,
yeah.
yes.
All right.
I've been through it. And my first wife she basically came to me at a point where I was ready to give up the game. Because I'm not proud of what I'm about to say, but we being real. At that time in my life, I was juggling several women at the same time. And I'm not proud of that.
Right.
I was just being wild out in the streets. But then the game got real old to me. Yeah. I mean, it started to get real old. I guess I was growing up. And then she came into my life, my first wife. And I told myself, I said, if she a real one, she stick by me, especially when I deploy and stuff like that. I said, probably gonna marry this woman right here. So we lived together for a long time. But the difference was I didn't know about marriage yet. But one thing that I knew, if anything went wrong, I could run.
Right.
I could get rid of her. Because I'm not binded to her by a piece of paper called the marriage certificate.
Ooh.
And that's one thing that she taught me.
Right.
Once we got married. Because she told me to my face, because she knew who I was. She knew if anything go wrong, I'm gone. And she told me to my face, which should have been a red flag that I did not pay attention to. She said, we married now. I was like, what does that mean? She said, you just can't leave. And I was like.
So slow. Whoa. See, that's what I want to get into.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Because that don't feel right.
It don't. That
don't feel right. That the first thing that you point to, which is the first thing that I know to be an obvious difference between a long-term relationship, because ultimately I've been in those I've never been married, but I've been in those long-term relationships. And for me, that was the ultimate game changer. Yeah. It's me signing on to this contract that says you can't just pick up and go without certain penalty, right? So with that being said, now and that's what we are clarifying is that's a difference.
A big difference.
Probably the biggest difference. What's so good about that? Like, why should a person that's watching this show right now feel like, I want to sign up for that?
Well, I would tell you like this. And this is coming straight from my experience. My first wife, basically my first 2 wives prepared me for my wife now. My first wife taught me not to run.
Okay.
Because I always did. She taught me to stay and fight, talk it out like adults.
Okay.
She taught me that. My second wife, she basically taught me be yourself. Because with her, my second wife, I lost myself. And I can kind of feel what Will Smith may be going through. Because it seems like he's losing himself trying to do any and everything he can to impress his wife. That's what I did in my second marriage. And I totally lost myself. I didn't play basketball no more. I didn't ride my bicycle. I didn't sing. I didn't try to make people laugh.
Horrible.
I didn't smile. Yes, it was. Once I finally realized that I had lost myself, and this is how I realized my homeboys that knew me, they even started saying, Tim, you don't bowl no more. You don't sing no more. You don't ride your, like, who are you? And I was like, what you talking about? Because I didn't think that I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
But once I sat back and reflected after I got divorced the second time, I was like, they were right. Yeah. So that's why when I met my wife now, I told her right from the jump. Because all of us, when we meet somebody, we all have a mask on our face. Yeah. That's just normal. But I told my wife this time, I said, I'm going to do something totally different. And she's like, what? I'm going to be me. 100%. I said, either you're going to like me or you're not.
Right.
Because when a lot of people mess up in relationships, you ever put a puzzle together?
Absolutely.
And you ever get to that last couple of pieces and you got that one piece that you think is going to fit in there and it fits a little bit and you try to punch it in there, but it's kind of still messed up.
Right.
It doesn't fit. That's what a lot of people try to do with relationships. They try to put that person in their lives forever that really don't fit their present or their future.
Right.
So once I got with my wife now, after I learned all my lessons, once I reaped my karma, because my karma was 2 failed marriages, then I was ready for the woman that I married now, because I done been through all my crap.
Right.
All my karma. Every woman that I've done wrong, I reaped my karma. She don't believe that, but I think my 2 failed marriages was my karma that I reaped because of so much that I sold in the past, and I had to go through it. And was it rough? Yes.
Yeah.
But I would tell people that are watching this and like, why would I sign a contract?
Why would you? Yeah. So now we're gonna get to and this is for us now.
Gotcha.
We just speaking for us, like, the benefits of marriage for men.
Ooh.
The benefits of marriage. Like, and I'm talking about going from that long-term relationship where you happy.
Mm-hmm.
You still y'all good. Y'all got a great relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you vibe and everything it's situated. The thing that's missing is that document that says this is binding.
Mm-hmm.
So beyond that, just what are the benefits for men in marriage for men?
Okay. Well, one thing I can say, some of the benefits that I'm reaping now for my wife now is that I have somebody that accepts me for me.
Okay.
100%. Like, I've never been in a relationship in my life ever where I was 100% me.
Okay.
Because, like, I always tell a lot of young men, when you were with the right woman, when all those embarrassing things that you do by yourself that you don't want to do in front of somebody, you do those things in front of your wife.
I just put something up about when you get to that stage in a relationship where you pee in the bathroom with your mates.
Yes.
Yeah, I once you get to that stage, to me it's like, we flowing now.
We flowing now.
You know what I mean? If I can stand up there and brush my teeth while you over there on the toilet, it's like
and it's commonplace.
Yeah.
But another thing I would say also is when you can look at the person that you with and you ain't really got to talk.
Yeah.
But you talk with your eyes more than your mouth. That's a spiritual connection and a benefit that you would have by signing a contract with a woman that knows you.
So what you're saying is, are you saying that, and let me be clear, are you saying that this isn't possible without that binding contract, this connection?
No, that's
is it possible without that document?
Yes. Like, to me, I know somebody right now that's been together for over 30 years. They not married, but they're still together.
Are they happy?
Yes, and they are happy.
Right.
They got kids, they got a family, they got a house, they got careers, but they
why
don't
didn't they
have
get
a
married?
contract. To this day, I honestly do not know. But my homeboy told me, he was like, things will change if we do get married.
Ooh.
And I have heard that before because that's what happened in my first marriage.
That sounds like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what that sounds like.
Basically,
right? Right. So we've always been taught, like, even when we were growing up, I remember we were groomed. Women were groomed for marriage.
Yes.
In a lot of situations, especially our generation.
Yes.
And before. They were groomed for marriage. They were looking for mates for that reason early on.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, not so much.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, especially, and it's according to what kind of family you came from.
Fact.
You come from a two-parent home with the husband and the wife, your mom, your father.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's probably a more of a chance that you'll follow those footsteps and pursue those things a little bit earlier.
Fact.
But coming from single-parent homes and things of that nature, I can say this much. Guys were not groomed to even be looking for wife at all. We were just, hey, you on your own, figure it out as you go. At the end of the day, so marriage wasn't really on our table, but women were groomed for it. And I had a homeboy tell me probably about a year ago, he said, marriage, the wedding or marriage, I don't know if it was the wedding or marriage, but the wedding or the marriage, that ain't for you, bro.
No, it's not.
That's for her.
It is.
I ain't like that.
That's true. That's true.
I ain't like that.
But you gotta look at it like this, man, for real. When you with the right person, none of that's gonna matter to you.
Yeah.
Because like I say, I had already been married twice before, divorced twice, and I was done with marriage. I was like, that's it. I tried it twice. It must not be for me. And I come from a 2-parent home. But I still wanted that.
Right.
And like I said, I was done. I didn't want to date no more. I just wanted to get back to being me. So what I did before I met my wife now, after my second divorce, I took a whole year to myself and I got back to being me. I healed. I didn't relationship hop like a lot of people do. Right. You jump from relationship to relationship with the same baggage that you had from the prior relationship, bringing it to your relationship now and expecting a new person to deal with your past baggage. Right. That's unfair to them. Right. So what I did, I unpacked my baggage myself. With some help from some of my mentors, and we sift through all of my baggage and basically found out all my shortcomings, and I worked on them. And then I worked on getting back to being me, doing the things that made me happy. So if I did ever decide to get back into the dating pool, whoever I would meet 100% me, not a damaged man that's still hurting from a past relationship and having them have to deal with it. Right. That's unfair. Right. That's unfair to the new person that you're with to still be dealing with your past. Right. Because they have nothing to do with it. And it's just wrong. It's just wrong to me.
Let me give my take on happy life, happy wife.
Talk to me.
Happy wife, happy life. Excuse me. This is what I believe about it. I paid attention, or just paying attention to some. I got friends who were married and stuff like that. How I took it was, and just everything that I saw, it felt like happy wife, happy life was almost like a sacrifice as a man. Like it says, if she's not happy, we're not happy, this family. And I took offense to that because where am I in that equation? Where do I fall? Because it's like, so if she's not happy, we're not happy. But if I'm not happy, things might still be okay. I didn't see that as fair. That's number one. Number two is I never wanted to be a I never wanted to be a sacrifice in my relationship to that level.
Gotcha.
Now, if push come to shove, am I stepping in front of a car for my kids, for my wife, for my lady? Yeah, absolutely. But in regular life, I don't want to be back home working while the family's on vacation all the time.
Gotcha.
So I'm busting it. And eventually, I'm just going to die off.
And they still going to be happy.
Right. That's happy. And I understand that piece as far as a sacrifice, but it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And that's how I viewed it. I was like, well, this don't make sense. And a lot of guys, and I'm going to be clear, I'm going to be transparent about this. A lot of guys that I know that carry that tag, this is how they view it. Let me feed her all the things that I feel like she needs. Make sure she good. So she happy, and I'm going to go do all the things I want to do. I'm going to make me happy as well. But I'm going to feed her, and with everything, I'm going to buy her everything. She can go on her trips. But that's just happy wife, happy life. Now I'm going to go to Vegas. Yeah. I'm going to trick off.
Yeah, I'm going to go wild out.
There you go. That's how I viewed it. Which, like you said, now have I ever been married? No, I don't have the experience, but I didn't think that there was a huge difference besides that binding document between marriage and this long-term relationship as far as how we interact, how we move as people. But on to something a little bit different, because we've been talking about Russell Wilson and Future in the media and social media, and I'm confused because there was once a such thing as and I don't want to use this term, well, I do, cornball, corny.
Yeah.
That was once a term that was used to describe certain guys or certain whatever. Why all of a sudden is now, it seems like we got amnesia.
Yeah.
We don't, Future is the bad guy. Don't women like bad boys?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the case when we grew up?
Yeah, it's still the case now.
Is it?
It's still the case now.
Is it? Because I don't understand. It's almost like there's a 360, and I was watching a show where Bill Maher said, women are turning men, don't quote me.
Gotcha.
Women are turning men into, use my language, women are turning men into people that they don't even want to have sex with.
Ooh.
That's turning men, like basically bucking men, breaking it down into, so look at the situation. When a man is more of a beta in a relationship, you got alpha males, whatever. Male. He's more of a beta, so now he's dumbing down, and it's like women aren't even turned. He used the analogy of the president or whatever of Ukraine.
Gotcha.
He's like, he's a badass, and now all of the women are looking at him like, yeah, that's what we want, and it's like the man is back. So what you think? Like, do you think that women are, over the last 20 years, have become so powerful and so strong and independent in themselves that they turn in guys into something that they wouldn't even want to be with?
Well, I look at it like this. Women have always been powerful, period.
Facts.
But they just never had a lot of opportunities like men. And there was a conversation that I heard where this guy was like, are men scared of powerful women?
Yeah, we just had that conversation.
To be with powerful women, and me, no.
Right.
I'm not. That there probably are some exceptions to the rule. Some men that won't mess with this woman or that woman because of their success level in life. But I look at that as a bonus.
Right.
That's a power couple if we get together and build together. Because a lot of men right now, because I know some betas that have basically have lost themselves in their marriage to the point of just making their wives happy that their wife is now the head of the family.
Right.
She done took over. Because all he's walking on eggshells the whole time, making sure he don't do this or do that to keep her happy. All the while, he's lost himself.
Mm.
The whole he lost himself. That was me. In my second marriage, I was walking on eggshells, just trying to do any and everything I could
Right.
to make my wife happy, to keep our family together.
Right.
And that's when it came to a point where I was like, I can't do this no more. I can't. I didn't realize how stressed I was.
That sounds like pain.
It was.
So explain, like, as it pertains to a woman, what's the most painful experience, or what felt like pain as it pertains to a woman, what a woman did to you, or how a woman made you feel, or your wife, or whoever. Is just from a woman's standpoint, what made you feel like this hurt?
My second wife, she see this, she gonna kill me. But I got played. I got played. She saw me as prey, and all she wanted was a baby.
Oh man.
Yes. And everything in the beginning was cool, and until she got pregnant. Right when she got pregnant, I started getting pushed to the side, but I wasn't really noticing that. I was still trying to come forward, trying to make sure anything she needed, I could do it for her, and I was losing myself.
Right.
I wasn't realizing that she didn't want me no more. I love this woman. This is my wife. We got married under God, and we gonna make this work. I want to make this work. But once the baby was born, my beautiful baby daughter, our relationship was over for her.
Mm.
She was done. And I was, once it finally hit me, and I was like, I got played.
Mm.
Like, man, I got used. Then I started thinking about all the things I've done in the past to women. And I was like,
Came back full circle.
Yeah. And when it hit me like a ton of bricks, and it hurt.
Yeah.
I went down to the beach right there at Tybee Island in Savannah about 2:00 in the morning. Now the beach closes at like 1:00.
Mm-hmm.
And the police came out there, they were just inquiring to see if I was okay. And I told him, yeah. And he was like, well, you got to leave, the beach is closed. And we talked for a little bit, and he had just got divorced a year prior.
Mm-hmm.
He let me stay out there till the sun came up, and I sat on that beach and I cried.
Ooh.
And I was thinking, like, as smart as I thought I was, when it came to the game, a woman came and knocked me off my pedestal.
Right.
Quick, too.
Right.
It was something that I had to learn.
I was talking to somebody yesterday, bro, and we was actually talking about the Will Jada saga. And she said a lot of women actually supported Will. Is almost like reverse engineering. She said a lot of women actually supported Will because women wanted to see him crash. I'm gonna tell you why she said that. She said women are tired of being Will in that moment. She said usually that's a woman.
That's true.
Maneuvering from that. Usually that's a woman in that type of pain. Look at everything that's happened.
It's true.
In their relationship, from the August Alsina to the how it's like she is demeaning him. She's embarrassing him. And she said that's what women been going through all this time. So they were rooting for it. Like they were happy that it happened because they were like, y'all been doing this, dogging us, got us out here looking bad. Look at Will right now.
Ooh.
I said, my goodness. I'm like, I was talking to my bro. I was like, well, we got to get ourselves
we got to get stuff together, man.
That felt like an attack.
Yeah.
Because it's a correction. And what I told her was, I said, well, hopefully, and I agree, because that is the truth. Men, we have done a lot to damage, you know what I mean? And it's there's blame to be handed out on both sides, but I can take responsibility and say, as men, we've done a lot to damage. And the problem is, though, I think that there's a level of overcorrection that comes from the other side.
Agreed.
Anytime something goes wrong. So it's like, wow, now you celebrating the crash. That's extreme to me. You know what I mean?
That's
it's
a little
extreme. It's like,
overboard.
because you proud in your own way because, we get to see a man behave. This is how we would. Like, I looked at it, I was like, wow, that was crazy. So do you think that over time, like the roles have essentially switched in their own ways, or have been switching over the last 10, 20 years between men and women? Like, or you just spoke on women have become more almost head of household. You know what I mean? Like that's what's happening. And even when I said powerful, it's just like they're a more powerful force face, like right there in front of you. Before it was, let's be honest, women took a more of a, we're gonna take care of the home. We're gonna make sure we're the backbone of everything. But now they're the forefront. They're at the forefront of everything. So, and I've asked this question before, do you think that correction is put us in balance, or are we kind of leaning out of balance?
I think we kind of lean out of balance.
Yeah.
Straight up. Because like I say, I do know a lot of beta males that have let their wives become the alpha.
Right.
But the way I look at that, it's not going to happen to me. I've always been an alpha. I'm always going to be an alpha. But the thing about it, my wife is an alpha too.
How does that work?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. Because the people always like, how does that work? Yeah. I told them, look at it like this. My wife is smarter than me when it comes to finance. I've always been dumb when it came to finance. Okay. I mean, I know a lot, but I've always made impulse buys or bought something I shouldn't have bought. She has taught me how to manage money. So when it comes to finances, with her being alpha, I let her take that lead.
Right.
When it comes to other situations that I know more about that she do,
right,
I'll be that lead. That's how we work together. That's how we coincide, you know.
Use
because
your strengths.
Yeah, use your strengths to propel the relationship forward. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a struggle at first. When we first got together.
To get out of each other's way.
Yeah, to get out of each other's way. Because I've never met a powerful woman like that. I've never met an alpha female.
Okay.
Never. So when I met her, it's like, whoa, I had to like back up, you know. And at first, you know, I was ready to get defensive. Right. Like, hold on, you don't tell me what to do. You know what I'm saying? I got this. Right. You know, but then I had to sit back and realize, like, she's smart.
Yeah.
She's real smart. And she's smarter than me in a lot of subjects. So when it comes to a subject that, like I say, that she's more powerful than me in that subject, I go ahead and step back. Let her handle that.
A smart relationship includes delegation.
Yeah.
And you use your strengths.
Use your strengths strategically.
Right. And you got to be humble enough to understand, this is where I fall short. I need you to lean here. Lean in here.
I'm glad you said that. A lot of men can't do that. A lot of men can't let their woman take the lead. And then some men, I've even seen that once their woman start taking the lead, they'll leave the relationship. They'll stray.
That means that they don't want to win. They don't want to win. And I've seen that in all different corners of my, man, some people would rather see if the ship don't move because it's their hands navigating it, they jump off.
They jump off.
They don't even want to be a part of the boat. And this boat could be headed to paradise.
Yes.
And you'll jump off because you ain't the person that steered it.
You want all the accolades.
You can't get a mop. And you know what I mean? You can't go into the kitchen and whip up some meals for everybody. You got to be the person in the captain's box.
In control.
That's right.
All the time.
And that's sad because in relationships, the best relationships, those dynamics exist.
Exactly.
They're, hey, because it's crazy that you even described something that I've been in before. Like, I've been in a relationship where the finances that was the strength of her. Yeah. You know what I mean? So she maneuvered all that. You know what I mean? Now, protecting his home, going out and fishing, going out to hunt and bring that back, that was mine for the most part. You know what I mean? But finding those pockets is very important in any relationship, whether you're married or just in a serious relationship, whatever.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's important. And I've seen that, like I say, the best relationships have those dynamics. So as far as you, what would you say that, like you say, you've been married, this is your third time being married. What would you do differently? If you could go back before the first time you got married, what would you do differently this time?
I wouldn't have got married. Just to my first wife?
Right.
Wouldn't have got married. Because like I said, she came to me at a vulnerable point. I was vulnerable. And I hated to admit that, but I was. Like I said, the game got old.
Right.
It got real old, but I was ready to transition into marriage, but I didn't know how.
Right.
Because I had never been married before. And everybody that was around me were all single guys. We was all just single guys, but I was getting tired of it. I really was. And like I said, I was ready to move on. So if I could do anything different, but honestly, let me retract. If I could do anything different, I wouldn't do anything different. Why? Because I feel like I told you before, my first wife and my second wife prepared me.
Right.
Because it was situations that I went through with them that prepared me for my wife now. And if I wouldn't have learned those lessons, I probably would be going through a third divorce.
So everything happened to get you here.
Everything happened for a reason to get me where I am now.
That's dope.
Even the karma that I went through, I would go through it all again, even though it hurt. But I would go through it all again. To get to my paradise now, I would go through it all again.
So what would you tell the single women or single women out here who have essentially given up on relationships. I'm hearing it lately. We don't even want to talk about that. We don't even want to talk. We don't want to talk no relationship talk. We basically, it's like we give up. I ain't gave up at the end of the day, but it's like I'm hearing a lot of if you talking about relationships, and well, I don't want to talk about that.
Gotcha.
Coming from women, which means it's like they gave up. What would you say? Because you're in a successful marriage, you're in a successful relationship, and it's a beautiful thing when it works. What would you say to the women that have essentially given up?
I would tell them don't give up. The reason why they're going through what they're going through right now because they haven't met the right person. There's somebody out there for everybody. Some people find them, some people don't, and some people never even try. Like they gave up.
Right.
But like, because that was me. After my second divorce, that was it. Because most people would be like, hey, look, I done been married twice. I'm not doing this no more. Two times, like, come on now. And I had given up. I really did.
Right.
But then ran into my wife now, and it was just like, wow. I was blown away because one thing I always wanted as a man in a relationship with a woman is a woman that I could just talk to about anything. It ain't always got to be love talk and mushy talk. Just talk about, anything.
Bruh.
And that's what I got now. We just talk about anything. Like she's literally, I used to hear this back in the day and I never believed that your wife, your husband is supposed to be your best friend.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I got my homeboys and stuff like that. But now I'm so happy in my marriage, I don't want to be around nobody else but my wife.
Right.
Because we have such good conversations and we talk about any and everything under the sun. And most of the time, what I like about the most, we have a difference in opinion on a lot of things, but we don't argue.
Right.
We just have a grown folks conversation. Now, sometimes it get a little serious,
right?
Because we difference of opinion.
It can get hot.
It can get a little hot. But one thing I love about it is that we can agree to disagree and move on.
Move on.
Let that go. It's gone. Let's move on to something new.
We're not going to bed with that on us. We're not going to sleep tonight with that on us.
We're going to let that off our chest and go to sleep
You said
happy.
something, man. You said something that, it's key. Bro, communication, that's just where it's at. And if you can't talk to a person and a person, you know what I mean? When you feel like that's empty in a relationship, you know what you got. You know what I mean? Because and especially for some guys, like I'm that kind of guy. I express myself. You know what I mean? And I want to be heard, just like I want to hear you. Like I want to hear you. Yeah. Don't walk around me and be upset about things but you ain't sharing that with me. You just got an attitude or whatever. I'm just tell me what's wrong. Let's fix this thing. You know what I mean? But in some relationships I've been in, communication just sucked. I've been in relationships where I felt like I was the emotional person.
Ooh.
Like how she's so tough, she don't feel nothing. You know what I mean? Like I feel. So it's like you don't feel nothing.
Been there, bro.
I've been in relationships like that. So that goes to the point of I believe women, like I said, over the past whatever, have been so conditioned to take over the house, do the things because the man was missing, that these are things that they're wearing now. And it's like, if you meet a woman that's been through that, it's hard. It's hard to get them to a space to where it's like, get them emotions back. You ain't got to be so tough with me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be so tough with me. You can talk to me because I'm going to talk to you. You can talk to me. So, but you said something key, man. Communication, dialogue in a relationship is, if you ain't got that, I don't know. It's not going. Yeah.
But you know what the most important thing in a relationship is?
What is it?
It's just my opinion.
We need that.
Okay. Spiritual connection and the mental connection are the most important things in any relationship.
Right.
And this is why. Because I made a joke one day. I was thinking about my grandparents. They was in their 90s. And I was like, what is keeping them together? Because I know they're not intimate anymore. They probably haven't been intimate in ever.
Right. So that's gone.
What is keeping them together? So I asked the question. I said, all right, y'all, I want y'all to look at y'all relationships. Take the sex out. Do you still have a relationship?
Right.
I said, because think about that.
It's going to go.
You know what I'm saying?
Most
it's going to go eventually.
Yeah.
You're not going to look good all the time.
Right.
So I always told people, when you get in your 40s, 50s, and 60s.
That's why I'm scared.
That sex drive is going to slow down.
I'm scared.
So my question to you is, how strong mentally and spiritually is your relationship going into those older years that will keep y'all together when the sex is less?
I'm scared. I'm going to tell you why, even what you're saying. That I know I'm a creature of, I get bored, man. I get tired, like, you know what I mean, of the same old, and that's just me.
Yeah.
Who and it's with anything.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's with anything. It ain't just pertaining to
Mhm.
women. It's just whatever. I want new adventure of some sort. So that's always scared me right there, because, you know, you factor in the fact, like you said, even with me.
Mhm.
And I'm always the person that's going to be like, hey, I'll tell the person, well, you ain't tired of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be, you ain't, I literally will say, because, and in those moments, I might be a little tired of her. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you got to be tired of me. And then I know I'm not giving what I need to be given.
Mhm.
So I'm like, how are you good with this? How are you okay? And I'm not even putting in 100%. I know I'm not, because I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not good.
Mhm.
So I'm not putting all, you know what I mean, my all into it either. So how are you good? You know what I mean?
They love you.
That's, yeah, well.
They love you. And a real woman
Mhm.
will start doing things to help build you back up.
Yeah.
A person who does not care, because I used to tell people all the time, if your wife or your girl nags, I said, don't be mad because she nags. I said, pay attention to what she's nagging about.
Right.
It might be something that you have stopped doing
Mhm.
that she want to get you back on track so you can be at your best.
Right.
But what you don't want is for your woman to get quiet.
Right.
That's what you don't want, because
That's
when
the
she gets
scariest part.
quiet, it's over.
That's the
Her
scariest part.
mind is gone.
Yeah, I was telling somebody, a brother the other day, I said, when a woman's done, or even you ain't coming back.
Ain't coming back. It's over.
You are not coming back. When she allows the things that you done, like if you say, well, I'm going to do this, then she's like, okay. When they get to that space, get out of there.
Get out of there and go.
Get out of there, because it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you. Yeah, it's going to hurt you. When a woman is done, the rap, man.
The wrap.
The rap. So at the end of the day, when we're speaking about marriage and relationships, and we found out that the major difference is that binding contract,
Mhm.
and it feels so
It
negative.
does.
It feels so negative,
Like you're
because
signing your life away.
and here's as I think about that, as different as that is, there are ways to get those things without being married, right?
That's
So,
true.
like, for example, you know, life insurance.
Mhm.
You know, you don't have to be married
You don't.
to have, you know, the person that's the beneficiary to be the person that your significant other.
Exactly.
So you can do a will
Mhm.
and break all these things down. So the thing that I was looking for, or am looking for, when I asked that question is, and I think you already spoke on it,
Mhm.
there's got to be like this spiritual connection, and that's the only thing that I probably couldn't speak to,
Gotcha.
because I've never been married.
Mhm.
But there's got to be that spiritual connection or something, right?
You're right.
Under God, because people always say it changes when you get married. They always say the sex change or something, like it go up, or
Yeah.
what like initially what changed? Like is it a lot of positive changes early on, or does it get tough early on, or
I say every situation is different.
Okay.
With my first marriage, before we got married, everything was great. I mean, it
Before
was
you got married.
amazing. I mean, we used to go do things.
Mhm.
I mean, we talked. But it's like the day after we get married, it's like she did a 180 and she became a totally different person. And I was like, I don't
Like right
know
before?
you. Yeah, like the day after the wedding.
oh
It's like she changed. All she could do was look at the ring on her finger. And it's like at the reception, it was like I wasn't nobody. Nobody was really talking to me. I'm sitting there like, what did I get myself into? But that's why I always tell people this also too. Before you marry anybody, do some homework on their family. Because you just don't marry that person.
married a
You
family.
marry their family too.
Yeah.
And once I found out about the family, it was like,
Same thing with children.
yes.
You have a child. You have a child with somebody. You connected to
You
that. over there.
connected.
And usually, I found out that wherever a person, 9 times out of 10, wherever a person come from, their environment that they come from,
Mhm.
if they not careful, if they're not strong, or you know, forward thinking, they become that environment.
Yes.
They just repeat it.
You repeat it.
So
You
whatever
become
you see, that's what you're gonna get.
what you're gonna be. Because I got cousins right now that they don't even realize that they act just like their grandmama. And
Right.
they act just like their mama.
Right.
And if you look at the cycle from the grandmother, the mother to the daughter, they all in the same boat right now at different ages and different stages in their
Different
lives.
stages of
They
it.
just perpetuating the cycle.
Yep.
And when I bring that to light, I'm the bad guy. And all I say is you acting just like your mama. You see she ain't with nobody. Your mama acting just like her mama.
Right.
She wasn't with nobody. You don't see that cycle,
Right.
but you don't want to break it.
Well, Tim, my message is this, man. I would love to do away, honestly, and this is just, I would love to do away with even happy wife, happy life. Let's all be happy. Let's do our best at making each other happy.
Mm-hmm.
So because I even talked to a bro too recently, and it's like it was him and his wife, and she was just talking about how they would, she had family pictures or pictures. He ain't even in the pictures. Like, and it hit her in that moment, bro. Like, you know what, you're not, and that's what I'm talking about. Happy wife, happy life. If we go too far into that, then we start positioning things in a messed up way. And sometimes what happens is men suffer in silence too.
Yes.
Men suffer in a lot of silence. We don't speak up. We just go through because we willing to sacrifice. We can't give up on this thing. Mm-hmm. It's like we got to go through with it. So we push through and we miserable. Men, I've seen men die of stress, bruh.
Yes.
For these same reasons, because it's like we just pushing. Man, got to be happy too. So I want to do away with that.
I want to blow it up.
Like, just let's make each other happy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do my part to make you happy, but don't forget about me.
Yeah, don't forget about me.
Don't think that just because you happy, everything's good, because that ain't the case. It might be that you're happy and I'm not. And that's a whole nother story. And the household should be impacted by that too, so we can always make sure that we all good.
Exactly. You got to have peace in your house. Because I used to tell people all the time about that happy wife, happy life. I've always thought that was BS. Because like I say, I've been married twice. And I've been in some hellacious relationships. And I've heard that before over the decades, happy wife, happy life. And I actually went into that narrative. Yeah. That's how I lost myself. Yeah. I did everything to make her happy. I wasn't happy at all. I mean, 0%. So I was like, I don't like that happy wife, happy life. Why can't we be happy together?
How long did it even take you to come to grips with being able to express that? Because like I said, a lot of times I've seen this a lot where men gonna take the hits.
Yes.
Quietly a lot of times. Yeah. Stand-up guys especially, or take that hit. And just, think this is what he's supposed to do.
Yes.
How long did it take you to kind of come to the realization, like, you know what, I deserve to be happy too?
I say within that year that I took off from dating to get back to being myself.
Yeah.
To start doing the things again that I love. And I just started thinking one day, and I was like, you know what? In both my past marriages, I wasn't happy. Right. I was happy in the beginning, but that dwindled very fast. And then I stayed in the marriage because, we got married. I stayed in the marriage and I wanted to fix it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing that again. I was like, I want to be happy. What's wrong with me being happy?
Right.
And if I can't be happy with somebody else, I'd rather be happy by myself. So that's why I said the next person that I meet, I'm not going to have a mask on.
Right.
I told my wife now when we were dating, I'm going to be me 100%. Either you're going to like me or you're not. We grown. It's a whole different, and plus it's a different ball game now. We in our 40s.
Right.
We grown now. I pretty much know what I want.
Right.
I'm setting my ways. Mm-hmm. She know what she wants. She's setting her ways. So for us to fit together like a puzzle piece, that wasn't nobody but God.
Also, and that's crazy, but also another issue. I think a problem with men, we don't know what we want for a long time. Like we get old before we realize, you know what? We didn't calibrate it. We didn't say, I like that. I don't like that. For real.
You right. Fact.
I like that. I don't like that. We just in the wind.
Yeah.
Whatever come, it's like, I'm going to deal with it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but once you get to the space and the stage where you like that, I don't like that, then you're able to see those things a lot quicker. Save a lot of time when you dating.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You already see the red flags, and you already know I'm not going to be able to put up. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be able to deal with this. Yeah. This is not me. If she don't have no substance, she can't hold a conversation with you. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't me.
Ain't me. And it took me to the age of 40. It took me to the age of 40. Looking back over
I think I'm still trying to put some pieces together. I figured out a lot. I figured out a lot, but I still think there are some things that, places where I stumble trying to figure out.
True.
Maybe I don't, you know what I mean? And then and you got to keep in mind, and we'll speak on this real quick.
Yeah.
When you grow, things change. Like, think about in a relationship, in a marriage, right? Or let's talk about just a relationship. Two people grow, and that don't mean you growing in the same direction.
It does not.
So you always have to check the relationship at points along the way.
Gotta check that temperature.
Are you growing in a way that's conducive to me? Mm-hmm. And am I growing in a way that's conducive to you? Because maybe this new profession that you want to go into might
Somebody like,
I might not
hold on,
agree with
man.
that.
Might
So
not
let's
like that.
let's have a conversation to see where we can fall.
Exactly.
And a lot of people don't realize that growth can happen in different ways. So as far as me, we all still growing. We're gonna grow until it's over.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as me, I'm still growing into certain things. Certain things I thought I liked, and I realized not so much.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And certain things that I like or didn't like, I was like, that ain't bad. You know what I mean? So I get to some of those realizations
Yes.
and understandings. But I just really want us to, as people, to realize that we need to make each other happy and don't give up on the relationship.
Yeah, don't give up.
Don't give up on that.
up.
I don't need the ladies to give up on us the same way that we're never gonna give up on them.
Never. That'll never happen.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I just want them to understand that don't give up on us.
Mhm.
We've made mistakes and we're able to own it. Now we're in the process of healing and correcting it, but this overcorrection, like I just spoke of earlier, with don't watch us crash out and enjoy it.
Don't do that.
You know what
I
I'm
don't.
saying?
I don't like that. Even though, like you said, it's been like that for a long time. Because I know I've done things that,
Right.
It's just like. But now, like you said, they looking at it like it's like a victory. I don't look at it like that. I don't think the women should look at it like that either.
Right.
But one thing, like I say, that we all need to do, especially for us men, we need to learn how to express ourselves more and stop trying to bottle stuff up all the time. You know, I'm strong. Even though inside you're destroyed and somebody asks you, are you okay? And you come out with your mouth, I'm fine.
Right.
No, you're not.
Right.
We got to be able to talk. And when another thing we got to be able to do is look, something a lot of men can't do. Talk to a woman about it.
Right.
Because night before last, I would listen to a song and the words were speaking to me in a situation about me and my wife. And I was sitting on the stool and I was listening to music and I just broke down crying. And she came in the bathroom and she thought something was really wrong. She was like, baby, what's wrong? And I was like, nothing. And she like, well, why are you crying? I was just like, I really wanted her to leave me alone at that moment. You know, I was just reflecting on a lot of stuff that I've been through in my life. And she came in and she gave me something that I didn't know that I wanted or needed. But she gave me a hug and she just held me. And the waterworks, just the floodgates open. And so fast forward the next day, I had to talk to her. I said, look, I need to get some things off my chest. I said, I know I've said them before. I said, but I know you've been worrying about why I was crying last night. And she was like, well, what's going on? And I was like, you. And she was like, did I do something wrong? I said, no. I said, I feel like I'm the most luckiest man in this world. I feel like I'm so blessed that
That's dope, man.
What I've been through in my life, now I finally, for the first time in my life, have somebody by my side that understands me.
Right.
I said, that's all men ever want, is to have a woman that just understands them. She know I got shortcomings. She don't like me every day. I know this, you know, but at the end of the day, we stand by each other. And she's actually my friend. Right. And that's where a lot of people mess up in relationships. Me, who definitely, I never tried to be friends with the person that I was with. Right. It was all about sex, all about making them happy and all this stuff that once you get older don't mean nothing. Right. I never took the chance or the time or even thought about trying to make a spiritual or mental connection with the person that I was with. So when I did get bored, like you said, we would be sitting in the same space and wouldn't even talk.
Ooh.
We couldn't even have just a general conversation. We would only have conversations about what's on TV. And that's easy. It's on TV. Right. But just to sit back and just talk. About anything. Right. Just to be on the same page. And the funny thing about it, we don't even really say a lot of words. Right. You just look at each other and you know. Yeah. You know, and that's something right there that I always wanted. Because my grandfather always told me, it went over my head for years, but I used to be like, Grandpa, how long you and Grandma been married? He's like, we ain't never been married. And I was like, yes, you are. He was like, no, we still dating. And I was like, but y'all been married? He said, no. He said, listen to me. He said, when you get with the person that God meant you to be with, he was like, never stop dating.
Gotta date them forever.
He said, the little things that you did to get them matter.
Absolutely.
Forever. Yep. He said, because a lot of people will start they'll do the little things to get you. They'll get you on that hook and they'll reel you on in. Then once they got you up on shore, they'll fall off. Yep. Because Martin even said it on his show. I got you now. Yeah. No. Those little things, those little things in the beginning matter.
Absolutely. That sounds like marriage, man.
Yes.
That sounds like marriage.
but it's also in just a regular relationship too.
It is. So we're gonna do away with happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, let's do away with that.
Let's do away with it, and
Do away with that.
we just gonna there's another phrase for it though. I thought it was happy something, whatever. We're gonna do away with happy wife, happy life, and we're just gonna make each other happy. We're gonna continue to work on our relationships. We're not gonna give up on that. I hope females and the women or whatever, I hope they get that, man, because that's scary. Because we'll never give up on them.
Never.
We'll never give up on them, and they need to know that.
Yes.
Well, look, Tim. Hey, man, I appreciate you stopping by the Man Cave, man. Having this conversation, man.
I appreciate you, brother.
It's much needed. I think a lot of people are gonna appreciate it. You know what I mean, from this perspective. So yeah, give me your TikTok again, bro.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for listening. I want to give a shout out to my brother Andre, man. Bo, he's always been a brother to me, and I appreciate you. I'm so happy and proud of you, man. I can't wait to see you at the top. I have a TikTok page, y'all. That's it's blowing up right now. It's called Tim the Speaker, TimTheSpeaker, Tim the Speaker, and I'm talking some trash on there. So, like I told y'all before, be careful when you come on my page. I might piss some people off. I might make you love me. But at the end of the day, it's all fun. It's all knowledge. That's all I'm giving out on there. Straight knowledge.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Hey, again, Tim, we appreciate you, man. So, appreciate it, man.
Let's do it, man. Do the work.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys for, checking in episode 002. Man Cave with Southside Dre. Please remember to follow us on all platforms. That's Man Cave Pod, Man Cave POD, all platforms. We're going to see y'all next time. Peace.